Hold on, give it a second. I'm starting back up again. Damn it. I was rolling, dude. I was freaking rolling. Hold on. I was on my rant right there. Damn it. Okay. All right, let me get back into this. All right, so what I was talking about before I got rudely interrupted, and I fixed the internet problem today, so that must have been an Instagram thing. So I apologize for that. That must have been a freaking Instagram thing because everything else was running good on my side. The internet is like at 900 downloads, so there should be no flipping problem at all. What's up, Nathan? I'm going to get into your comments and everything. I'm going to read everything. I had to restart the show. See, I had a perfect intro, too, with freaking Jay-Z and everything, New York, and then it screws me up. It kicks me out or whatever, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to get on here real quick, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly where I was in this rant about Heany. We're all tired of seeing this guy come out and put up mediocre performances. And his 5 runs, or he gave up 7 runs tonight, got the loss to a guy, Talon, who's pitched terrible for the Angels. You had 2 things going against you tonight. You had Mr. Heany himself, and you had Matty V calling the games. Matty V has a horrendous losing record while calling Angels games. And then you got Heany, who was just Mr. Inconsistent, 3rd straight game in a row. He now falls to 4-8 as a starter. No, 4-6. I'm sorry. His line tonight, 4-6 as a starter, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 7 runs allowed. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 home runs given up, 77 pitches in 3 innings. That's pathetic. James Hoyt showed again why, when he came up to start tonight, he begs to differ. Why the hell is he still on the roster? 1 inning, 3 runs given up, 3 hits, all earned. Javi Guerra pitched in and out of jams, 44 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 44 pitches. That's a lot. Quintana got some work in, gave up no runs in an inning and 1/3, and Claudio got some work in as well. 111 pitches in all for the Angels tonight. But what can I say? I want to come out and say positive and say Ohtani crushed it tonight, which he did. 2 more home runs, league leading 28 home runs already. This guy is going to be on another level. He might actually touch 50 this year. So let's look forward to that if the home run derby doesn't kill his swing. I wouldn't put him in there, damn it, but it looks like they're going to force him in there or that he wants to be in there. So again, what happened with Heany tonight, I compared him to a hot dog. If they sold at the stadium, the Angels, if you ordered a Heany dog and 4 of you were in line, got and ordered the same damn Heany dog, it would never come out the same because Heany never pitches the same. He never gives you anything consistent. He fits the MO of the Angels in a nutshell. They're inconsistent. They're consistently inconsistent. That should be the goddamn motto for the Angels this year. And you have a game right now where certain teams in the division and in the playoffs and a team that's ahead of you in the wild card, you need to win these games. And you drop a stupid game like this. 5 runs should be enough for the Angels to win, especially the way the pitching's been. But when you have, you're behind the 8 ball right away when your pitcher can't even get out of the freaking 3rd inning. And we've seen this same song and danced over and over and over. And Bundy's been a struggle too. He literally blew chunks the other night and he was done. So my thing is this. You have 2 pitchers, and one of my questions to you, the audience tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who would you replace? Because right now the talk is Suarez is being talked about with the pitching coaches and the team in general. They want to put him and insert him in the rotation. They feel he can get up to 75 to 80 pitches. So he's already ready to give you 5-6 innings as a starter. He gave you 5 innings the other night, which was impressive. Got the win. Was the MVP yesterday, even though Ohtani went deep. I thought he pitched well to save the game. So who would you replace right now? My money right now is on Heany. I'd love the guy to take off and prove me wrong. I've voted against him, but I rooted for him all season. And I wanted him to prove me wrong. I want to eat crow when I'm talking bad about an Angels player because I want them to turn the corner. He's never done it. He's never going to do it. So if he turns his career around in another team, so be it. Get the hell out of here. I'm done with Andrew Heany. I am done with Andrew Heany. My bet, some of you guys would replace Bundy and give Heany a few more starts. I'm like, you know what? No, screw it. Put either Heany in the freaking bullpen or just dangle him out there for trade bait. We don't need him anymore. We got enough young pitchers coming up that can fill his spot. Suarez is right there. He's doing the same damn thing Sandoval is. Sandoval fixed his craft, fixed his pitches, and all of a sudden now he's a staple in the rotation. I think Suarez's time is now. It is now. Let the guy pitch. Let him pitch. So we went over some of the stuff tonight. The Angels left some guys on base again tonight, but again, you can blame the pitching for tonight's loss. It wasn't the hitting's fault. I thought the hitters did a fairly good job for the most part, with the exception of like Walsh or something like that, Renifo. And by the way, Ward looked terrible tonight. How about that nice let me kill an inning, running from first to second when there's no need to? No need to. What an idiot. He was thrown out by a country mile. And then his playing the outfield, I mean, dude, I try to defend the guy. But he just keeps getting in his own way and making himself look stupid. I'm sorry. I want the guy to be better, but he just hasn't been. I want him to turn the corner, but we'll see. At least he hasn't had enough resume like Heany years upon years to do something. He hasn't. One more thing on Heany before I get started. I'm going to get into the Bauer stuff too. I saw that breaking news. But what I want to say about Heany, and this is going to be a little controversial given what happened to Tyler Skaggs and the lawsuit that came up today, which is being filed against Artie Moreno, the Los Angeles Angels, Tim Mead, and a few other people that used to be Angels or in the Angel organization currently. When the article was released about what happened with Skaggs and also the trainer that was giving drugs, he gave drugs to 5 other players. Now, honestly, in my opinion, it's up to the person, no matter who they are, what profession they are, to not take the drugs or take the drugs. So it's not like the trainer was shoving the pills down the dude's throat. I feel bad for what happened to Tyler Skaggs. Believe me, I do. And I've lost a friend to substance abuse myself. The thing is, when something like that happens, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but the player kind of put himself there. And my mindset with Andrew Heany locking up with Skaggs, they were best friends. They never revealed who the 5 players were that were given drugs. If you look at Heany, the way he pitches, put everything aside, don't focus on the drugs or the personal life or anything else like that. Think about Heany and think about Skaggs. Don't you see a resemblance about how they pitched? I mean, sometimes Skaggs would come out and be very, very strong, and you'd be like, man, this guy could be the ace. He could be the anchor. He's right there. And then he'd come out and do this too, 2 or 3 bad starts in a row. Now, I'm not saying Heaney's on drugs now, but what I'm saying is maybe if he's his best friend back then, he could be his accountability buddy and keep him away from drugs. But maybe Heany was partaking himself, and maybe there's a reason why he's so inconsistent. Remember, the MLB tests for a lot of drugs. They do. But they don't test for the opiates, and that's what those players were using. That's what maybe Heany is. I'm not alleged. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he did. Whatever. All I'm saying is, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, maybe it's a duck. I don't know. I'm just throwing out there. That's just my opinion. You guys may differ in a lot of ways, but that's just how I feel about Heany, that maybe his inconsistency also has to do with maybe somewhat of a substance problem that we don't know about, because he's exactly the same pitcher Tyler Skaggs was, and they have great stuff. And Tyler Skaggs, rest in peace, had great stuff, but he never put it together, and we found out why. And it was sad. And I don't want the same thing to happen to Heany. And if he's not involved in the drugs, then it's a mental issue on himself. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just doesn't have the fire for it, because maybe I'm wrong with that too. But as far as a pitcher, Heany has never had that gusto, that never go out there, I'm going to kill the opponent. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have any fire, no emotion whatsoever. So that's what I got to say about that. I'll get into the Bauer stuff in a minute. Let me read some of these comments. You see, I'm going to read the stuff here real quick that jumped up on Twitch and on Facebook. Rally Chris says, I predicted a loss. I have us winning two straight and winning 3 of 4 in the season or in the series. Michael Gibby says, well, that sucked. Heany got absolutely crushed again tonight. Ohtani was great, but our pitching was horrible. 11 runs, insane. Rally Chris got another breaking news right now. Joe Madden says Shohei Ohtani will pitch and hit tomorrow despite the humidity over there in New York, which is atrocious right now. Astros are losing 8-3 to the Baltimore Orioles, and so far scoring 4 runs in the 8th inning by the Orioles with 1 out. And Oakland is losing 3-2 to Texas. See, with another night where we could have picked up a game or two is wasted again. So by not coming through. Nathan says, "What's up? What is up, Nathan?" Nathan says, thoughts on Heany being moved at the deadline? Nathan, I would do that in a heartbeat. If anybody wants him, take him. Let's let this starting rotation take off with the youth right now. Because if you think about it, if C-Rod is pitching good in Double-A, they could stretch him out to a starter. I don't know if it's going to happen this season, but I would love to see that at some point. Imagine a rotation with Ohtani, with Sandoval, with Suarez, with C-Rod, with Canning. For the most part, that's a young-ass staff, all under 30, just right there. That's not counting Cobb. That's not counting Bundy. That's not counting what you do with Quintana. So in my mind, I'd rather go young than stick with some of these guys right now. 27 Angels fan says, what's G, Todd? What's going on? What is going on, my man? Angels fan, love that you're a part of this. I said yesterday, Matty V plus Heany equals a loss, Tabora says, and that is the truth. She called it yesterday, and Matty V has a terrible record. So there you go. Can Heany go live? Happy Life training his dogs, or go away. Happy Life training his dogs, please. Ohtani loves the big blue apple up there. Yes, he does. Crush 2 more home runs. Juan says, is it really a good idea for Ohtani to participate in the home run derby? I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. I think it's a bad idea. We saw it with Garrett Anderson back in the day. Garrett Anderson had 23, I want to say, maybe 24 home runs at the deadline. He hit 7 the rest of the way, I believe, in the second half, and after winning the damn home run derby. Sorry, Ohtani loves the big apple. That's what he meant. Ohtani, Iggy, Rendon are the only offensive bright spots, Ace says, yes. And the offense, you can't really pick it apart too much tonight. It's just the fact that you put yourself in a position where you're already giving up 5 runs in the second inning. Your pitcher already has 60 pitches before he enters the 4th inning, and then you put up a 5 spot, and basically the game is over besides that 2-run homer by Ohtani. Matt Bedingo, what is up, my friend? He says, okay, I'm with some Angel fans on here, meaning I think that it's time to put Suarez in and take Heany out. See, there you go. To me, it's either between Heany or Bundy, and right now, my hand is raised for Heany. I want him out of the rotation right now. We've seen this goddamn song and dance way too much. Chris Swanky says, I made my decision on Heany. Get him out of here, Todd. Do it. Hey, I'm making my call to the bullpen right now. I'm calling for the lefty. Other lefty, get Suarez in there right freaking now. He says, now before my eyes bleed. Damn, that's pretty bad. Juan says, could Suarez replace both of them, Heany and Bundy? Well, again, you have 5 or 6 pitchers that you can bring in and actually have in that rotation other than what they got right now. C-Rod is a long shot, but again, you have other pitchers you could bring in there. Unless I didn't even mention Packy Naughton, who is not quite ready yet, but you've got Reed Detmers, who's blowing through Double-A, which is more impressive because Double-A is more of a pitcher's ballparks. Triple-A is more hitters. That's more hitter-friendly, small ballparks. That's where a lot of guys go to raise their batting averages. Double-A is like where all the premier pitching is, really, and Heany is blowing through Double-A. Matt Bedingo says, send him back where he came from, Miami. Jesus checks in on Facebook and he says, do you think the Angels will draft, or who do you think the Angels will draft in the MLB draft? It's hard to say right now because of where their pick is. It's all going to come down to the first 5 guys that are drafted in this one, and I say the Angels are going to go for pitching, obviously, but the big name guys are going to be off the board, so that kind of makes things a little dicey. Chase checks in with, I guess my prediction was wrong. Heany out, Suarez in. There you go. Nathan says, send Heany to the minors. Unfortunately, a guy like him doesn't have any freaking options left, and he's a guy that's a proven. I don't think with his ego or with the team's ego they would send him down. I don't think that's an option. I think more of a slap in the face is what he needs, like Quintana got. Because think about it, Quintana's been a starter for most of his career. Heaney's been a starter for most of his career. Heaney's been anointed a number 1 guy at one point 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So the thing is, if you send him to the bullpen, maybe that shakes him up a little bit, and he's not much. He turns himself into something instead of just being the guy that we're just disappointed with because he's so inconsistent. Switch Heany out for Suarez. He doesn't shit himself like Heany does. That's for sure. He doesn't, dude. That guy's clean as a whistle, bro. This guy can really pitch. He's got everything together right now. I mean, whatever he's doing right now is working. Same thing with Sandoval. I don't know why you don't try to take advantage of it. What's Heaney's contract? Trade the dude. Well, right now in Drizzle, he's on the final year of his deal with the Angels, so he's gonna walk anyway. So I would encourage the Angels to trade him for whatever they can get. And this is talking. I'm talking trade Heaney, despite if you get back into the playoff race, despite if you get into the wild card race. You don't need him. You don't need him because in a game in August and September, you don't want to depend on this guy coming up against Oakland or something. You need a big win, and he craps himself before the third inning. We don't need that. We've seen that too many times. I'd rather see someone else with heart, with passion, with good stuff, trusting his stuff. Or if the umpires aren't giving you the calls early, screw it. Change it up. Go after the batter. Don't keep trying to nibble. And he's a king at nibbling. So screw that. No, I'm tired of you. Let's go with someone that actually wants to win. Let's go with someone who trusts his stuff. Because I have never doubted that Heaney has his stuff. I have never doubted that he could be a number 2 guy. I never thought he could be a number 1. But he could be a strong number 2. But he's never took the bull by the horns. He's always dicked around in the strike zone. And he's never had the passion to become better. Never had the killer instinct. You know what I mean? A guy you wish a guy, RIP, like Kobe Bryant, would talk some sense into players who don't have passion, who can't finish games. Because I would recommend Heaney for the Angels. If Kobe was alive, I'd recommend Kobe going down and having a one-on-one with him and just talking to him. Maybe someone needs to get in his head because it's not working in Anaheim. I'm sorry. Jaime says trade Heaney back for Kendrick. I would take Kendrick now at his age. Believe me, I would. Tabora says Ward never looks good. Yeah, that's true. Ward hasn't been great. And Drizzle says, Matt Bedingo says they need to send Rendifo back to the Rays. You know what? When he hit that home run when he came up, Matt, I actually thought, dude, did he finally change? Did he finally turn the corner? Nope. Angels don't need Andrew Heaney and Jose Quintana, Jesus says. Yes, both will be gone guaranteed by the end of the season. That's for sure. Both are on one-year contracts. Mateo says, can we just trade Heaney for a couple prospects and for Jake Arrieta? Now, Mateo, again, I think Jake Arrieta is on a one-year contract. They might take the 2 low-level, what is it called? Take a couple low-level minor leaguers for him. Arrieta, and I think that would work. I don't know if they would take Heaney, depending on what they would do, but I would love to get rid of him, or get Arrieta. Arrieta is not that bad. I mean, I would take him. At least you know what you're getting with him. Jaime says also Schebler sucks ass. Yeah, he does, but he could run, man. I'll give him that. He could run. A says, I didn't understand the umpire wasn't calling the high strikes, but still the Angels batters keep swinging at them. And yeah, that's the problem. These guys love the high strikes, and the pitchers aren't stupid on the other side. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? These guys are swinging above their heads. We're going to throw it there. And for whatever reason, the high fastball, the high heater is something that's just a kryptonite for the Angels big time. At Mateo, I would love Arrieta on the Angels. Yeah, it'd be good veteran presence. That's actually a good pull. Jaime says we pitched 3 guys with ERAs over 5 and a guy with an ERA over 7. We can't win like that. Nobody can win like that, Jaime. And this is the same song and dance. Same song and dance we saw with Epler. Now, this is not falling on freaking Perry. I'm not going to put this one on Perry. I'm putting this one on Artie. Artie gets the L in this one. I think he carries over the BS that freaking Epler set up. And right now, Perry's doing the best he can. I'm still riding with Perry right now until we see what happens at the deadline and the freaking end of the season and the new contracts. But we'll see what happens here. When or where would you put Reed Detmers in the pitching rotation in the future? Well, Jesus, I would love to give him a freaking opportunity at the 5 spot for right now to end the season. Give him a 5 spot where or even the 6 spot if you're in a 6-man rotation. Run him out there, give him opportunity, get his feet wet, let him get a feel of major league hitting and see what he can do. Make him earn his way up to the top. Don't anoint him. And I don't think they're going to anoint him. And you just give him 5 innings, see if he can reach that. And the next time, maybe stretch him out another two-thirds of an inning to 6 innings. Take baby steps with him because you've rushed him through the minors. But I would definitely start him at 5th. I think it would be a mistake to bring him into the bullpen. I think it would be great to just keep him as a starter, see what he got. And, if he shines up here, he's going to take his lumps. He's not going to be perfect. but he will put on a performance like C-Rod did early on where he's just unhittable. I think he's going to do that. I think he's that good. And then you see where he's at. You reevaluate him in spring training next year, and then maybe he jumps up a spot or two. So we'll see, man. It's just going to be good to see a guy you drafted not even 2 years ago become a rotation guy, because it's going to happen at some point this year, and I'm excited to see that. MLB test for PEDs. Yes, they do, but they don't test for opiates. Heany says Heany has expressed battling depression. I think depression is a side effect of opiates, and that could be too, Heiny. And that's the thing. I mean, look, we never even knew about what happened with Andrelton Simmons till he opened his mouth. A lot of us, including myself, killed him for quitting last year, and then he came out this year right before the season and said he was battling depression and had suicidal thoughts. Nobody knew. Okay, and that's just the issue with that kind of stuff. And you know what? If you were to tell me that he has depression, I'd believe you, being Andrew Heany, because of the fact, the way he looked. I mean, I've had friends that had stone cold faces, and you never knew until they told you something was wrong. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't have that. Like, I almost thought he was autistic in a way, because Andrew just does not have any emotions whatsoever. And like I said, I root for the guy. I root for anyone that puts on an Angels uniform, you know? But it's sad when they just give you the same performances over and over and over, and they're not really making a change to make themselves better. And then maybe they do, and they kind of tease you a bit, and then you just go back to their same bad ways. So I don't know. It's really hard to say right now, because the Angels are tight-lipped about that kind of stuff. And when it comes down to who's getting sued with this indictment on the Angels, it's pretty crazy. It's going to get nasty. I'm hoping Artie settles out of court, because it would be in the Angels' best. What is it called? Best. God damn it! What's the name of that word? It would be good for them to settle out of court, not be dragged into the news media, because ESPN, Fox Sports, all these guys are going to eat that up, talking about drugs in baseball. They're going to make the Angels the example, and again, we're going to look stupid. So Artie should just write them a fat-ass check and try to make it go away, and punish those who screwed up in the organization, clean up inside the clubhouse if it hasn't already been, which it should have been. Get rid of everything that was associated with it, which we've been screaming for this training staff to be fired anyway, because we're terrible with injuries and we always have Tommy Johns. So why not just fire the whole lot of them, pay them off, get a new training staff in here, and make it all go away? You honor Skaggs when it comes around to his passing, like you did with Aiden Hart, and you keep the memory alive that way. And you use that as a lesson, not to let that bullshit get into your freaking locker room. That's what you do. Will the Angels do that? Probably not. Probably Artie will drink scotch and then say, see you in court, because he's a stubborn old man. So we'll see. But that would be what I would do. Jesus says, do you think the Angels will draft Kumar? Nah, Kumar is going to be gone, dude. That guy's a stud. He's likely going to be wearing a Pirate jersey if the Pirates are not stupid, or Arizona, or whoever has that pick. He looks like he's just fed up about the game. He's a guy that I could see walking away like Ty Buttrey, you know what I mean? And just being like, F it, I want to do my life, I'm out. You know, that's the kind of dude he is. Chris Wanky says Ohtani was great pitching, was horrible. Quote of the year. Yeah, that is exactly right. If you think about it, remember when Mark McGwire was hitting all those home runs for the St. Louis Cardinals? That team, nobody remembers the record, because everyone was focused on Mark McGwire's chasing the record of Maris and everything else like that. Cardinals were sitting in fourth place, almost fifth place that entire year, but they were shown every time because of Mark McGwire, and Mark McGwire was the man. So Mark McGwire is going to, is like our Ohtani. Ohtani is the dude that's just going to be pounding home runs, and he's going to steal a lot of headlines and maybe overshadow the fact that, hey, the Angels lost 11-5 tonight, but check out these home runs. So will it be different when Trout comes back? I'm hoping so, but then again, the pitching's got to tighten up, and if we would have been pitching like we had been the last few games, maybe this turns into a W instead of a loss if Heany can get his act together early on. Mateo says the only that is a lock is the rotation is Ohtani. Right now, yeah, he's the best right now. Chris Wanky says Matty V got to go VT Chubby with Ohtani's 2 home runs tonight. There you go. Matt Bedingo says you also got Criswell. Well, yeah, Criswell's down there too. Jaime says Bundy served as an opener yesterday. They really ought to do that with Heany. Open a righty, he'll stack up well against the Yankees righties and versus the lefties in the next few innings. That's the thing that should have happened. I mean, that's the thing that should have happened. Maybe is you try to boost these guys up with a starter or a reliever, you know what I mean? But the Angels didn't think of doing that. Maybe that would have been the difference today. Maybe Heany doesn't come out there and look flatter than a pancake. Jaime says, I would like to see Rojas back. Chris Swanky says, I forgot about that dude Quintana, LOL. Matt Bedingo says, send Bundy, Cobb, and Heany back to the independent league, LOL. Or the Mexican league with Bartolo. Hello, everyone. I'm here. Grillmaster checks in. He's not actually using caps tonight. Suarez pitch count was amazing through 7 innings. 50 pitches through 3 innings tonight, or Heany had 50 pitches for through 3 innings. Yeah, Chris Swanky. That's the thing with Suarez, and that's the thing you saw with Sandoval early in his career. The first couple years, Sandoval's pitch count was up, and he could never get to the 5th inning, or if he did, he was already at 100 pitches. His pitch count has looked a lot better the last 6 starts. And then you look at Suarez, and ever since they brought him up and dangled him in and out of the bullpen, he has come through, and his pitch count looks great. He goes after guys. And you know what the number one thing Suarez does right? He doesn't walk anybody. And if he does, it's like one guy. And that's been an Angel problem too. They walk too many damn players. Too many damn players. But he is leading the way with least amount of walks. I love it. And he's got to continue to do that. Grillmaster says $5. We don't, though, because Artie will find a way to F it up. I agree. Grillmaster said, sorry, I'm late. Just don't give a fuck about DFA everybody. Dan Insomnia was the ump behind the plate tonight. Scouting report was that he is hitter friendly. Well, you could see that tonight. 11 knives in the toaster tonight. Oh, the toaster thing. What is up, Mathematic? As he's checking out my bot as usual. Jesus also checks in on Facebook, says Angels own the Yankees, but Angels don't have an ace in the pitching staff. And that is true. It's funny to see how all the money that the Yankees have spent, and they're talking trading Aaron Judge because they're at that damn threshold, and the Yankees, who Hal Steinbrenner, not George Steinbrenner, but Hal Steinbrenner, the son, is actually not in the mood to spend money like his father, so they're not going to go over the trade deadline, or trade cap, or not the salary cap. Sorry, they're going to wind up getting rid of guys. So you would hope the Angels would do the same thing, or get up to that cap number. But we're going to have a ton of money in the offseason. Yankees are going to try to cut money. Angels aren't, and the way they stack up on paper, the Yankees should kill the Angels, but the Angels always reverse it on them. Todd, do you think we will get Arrieta? Well, it just depends on where we're at. If we are in a position of a wild card, I would say any pitcher in the lower teams, the teams that are out of it, like your Tigers, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Nationals, would be in play to grab a pitcher. Imagine best case scenario would be grabbing Arrieta for like almost nothing because he's on a 1-year deal, and then renting freaking Scherzer too. It's just what you would give up. But if you get those 2 guys in the rotation with what we already got, the youngsters, I just go with that, and then maybe have Cobb in there if he's consistent to help anchor that rotation, and then you got something, and then you can go on a winning streak. But I would X out Heany right away, and I would X out Bundy as well. Grillmaster says, here's an idea. Trade Heany and Louis Renefo and a minor leaguer to Colorado for Jermaine or Herman Marquez, Rafael Tapia, and Yency Almonte. Now, if the Cardinals fleece them for Arenado, I don't put anything by Colorado to do something stupid. I just don't think that they would take Heany. We'd have to give him someone that's under the freaking that's under a contract. But let's see. Grillmaster says I'm uploading a video. Okay, Detmer's dad used to pitch in the majors. I'm sure he's behind or is mature beyond his years, and I would love to see Detmer's up here, and he looks like he's a raging bull, dude. He's ready to go. White Sox reliever Garrett Kotchett was drafted in 2020, and he pitched the same year in an exhibition season. That's true. When it comes to pitchers pitching, not long for the draft year. That's true. And these guys are coming up so fast now, and it's awesome to see. And they're ready, most of them. Ohtani will become the 5th player to hit 2 home runs in a game and start the team's next game, joining Babe Ruth in 1930, John Clarkson 1887, Bob Cathers in 1886, and in 1883, Monty Ward That's historic facts right there, and that's bringing in that stuff from Rally Chris. So he's going way back machine right there to tell you how historic what freaking what he's doing, Ohtani on the freaking mound and on the other way. Let's see. Andrew Heany faced his worst nightmare against the fielder tonight, Judgment Day. There you go. Reed Detmers is being compared to a Steven Strasburg. Ooh, a left-handed Steven Strasburg. Wouldn't that be awesome, Ace, to see a pitcher, to come up like that and have the fanfare and then join the likes of Trout, Ohtani, and Walsh and Rendon on this team? I mean, and then the young stars like, or guys that are maybe future stars like Sandoval and maybe Suarez and dude, I mean, and C-Rod. I mean, it'd be exciting again. It'd be something that, like, let's see, wait, what do you think about MLB Combine? The MLB Combine is basically, it's all your scouting. I mean, they don't meet all in the same spot, Jesus. It's just basically you're able to scout guys internationally. It's how many scouts you have. If the Angels aren't paying for a scout team that's going to be overseas and at college and, checking out other major league teams, the least amount of scouts you have is not good. You want to have as many as you can because there really is no combine. A lot of these guys are auditioning on their teams currently, so you got to go where they're at. So fire both hitting coaches and trainers, Grillmaster says. Yes. Daily pick of Griffin Canning says L with a crying emoji. Got you right there. Let's see. We are wasting Ohtani, and what a show he put on tonight. Holy shit, Grillmaster says. Yeah, those are 2 big home runs tonight. Grillmaster says also that the Astros are losing. Maybe the Angels need to rebuild the rotation from scratch. It's getting there, Mateo. It really is. Don Hammond, what is up, Todd? He says, I said, what is up, Don? Miss you on here. Glad to see you there right there. See, here's more breaking news from Rally Chris. Cobb is shown that he can be reliable. Yeah, that's true. Chris Swanky says, I love Cobb's attitude. Whether we winning or losing, he's on the mound. He's showing some emotion. And Chris, we were saying, who is the freaking leader on this team? He's the one that called. We found out that the other day he called the closed door meeting. So a guy on a 1-year contract is your leader. That's a good thing and a bad thing. It shows you that he's trying to help this team win any way possible. And on a 1-year deal, he could just say, F it, I'm trying to get my numbers. I'm trying to get a contract. But he truly cares. So that's good. But it's also bad because you should have a guy like Trout or other players that are locked in to this team and have been here for a while. They should be leaders, and they're not. Let's see, should our ace be our ace or our pitching staff? I don't know. Grillmaster, let's see, read that one. Grillmaster also says, I don't really like Arrieta on this team. Give me someone like Hendricks. Well, yeah, that'd be a nice move there, too. Matt says, Todd, do you see the Angels-Yankees meeting up again on an Angels or Aaron Judge deal? It could happen. I just doubt it. I just doubt it right now. Maybe in the off season, but not this season for sure. Here's my stand up for as long as I can remember. I've had memories. Okay, one says send Heany to the Dodgers and he'll get to a DeGrom level. That's true. Chris Swanky also says no word on Upton's return. Nothing yet, other than he was on a 10-day IL. Jesus on Facebook says, what do you think about the Angels starting rotation in the future? I'm all for it. I like it. I do like the fact that things are changing and they're getting younger. Younger is a good thing. This team is always stuck with over-the-hill veterans. Trevor Cahill, a lot of guys we can go down memory lane and say, these guys were good 5-7 years ago, and then we get them on the Angels and it's like they suck. And then it's like, well, what do you expect? We're going to the same well over and over. So the fact that they're getting younger and maybe you just throw in one big-ass ace next year to freaking anchor the rotation with Ohtani and the youngsters, dude, let's do it. I'm all for it. That's how you make up a rotation. Jared Weaver needs to talk to Heany, former ace. I agree. No one before God. Hector says, what's up, Angels family? And that Hector, what is up, my friend? He is Angels family for sure. Jaime says, Artie will settle out of court, and there goes the money for pitching, cheap ass. Hopefully not. Hopefully he doesn't use Angels money. Hopefully he uses the money he has, $3 billion that he can pull from. Canning is pitching on Wednesday morning, and I like that, Ace. I like Canning in New York. He actually pitches good against good teams. Jaime says we should meet with guys prior to the draft and call them the pussies to their face so they get mad. And then boom, if we want them, if they're on our team. If not, they're a Heany 2.0. So basically, if we don't get a reaction out of calling them names, then yeah, they're not worth it. I agree. Grillmaster says, I'm actually surprised how good Cobb is this year. I wish for him to do better on the road. Do you guys hear about Bauer? There you go. I'm going to get into that right now. And then Hector says, I'll be there on the 5th for Ohtani's birthday. That's cool. And then, yes, I heard about the rallying of the troops on the podcast. Great crossover podcast, by the way. Rocks in the outfield. Thanks, Chris. That was a pretty good show right there. Tomorrow in Houston, Angels legend. No One Before God says, Heany made me do what Bundy did yesterday. Oh, damn. That is bad, dude. Real quick, though, on Bauer. Here's my thing on Bauer. You know what I've said since the fact that he signed with the Dodgers, and it was a big FU to the Angels. He was such a narcissist, and I wouldn't put it past him to say, hey, you just got to grab life by the throat, and you got to do it. And all this motivational speak that he does on his stupid YouTube channel, right? I believe he's gotten what he's in a quote-unquote sticky situation, isn't he? For all that shit talk about the sticky stuff, he's in a sticky situation for putting hands on a woman. Now, you know how it is with the women. And I'm just going to say this from a man's perspective. There's a lot of guys in jail right now that have been falsely accused under no circumstance or evidence. And it's all been he said, she said. I see that part of it. I also see the part of men being very abusive and maybe given the green light to do something sexually and going way too far. And they should be punished for that. I think women should be punished for falsely accusing men if found out. And men should all obviously be punished for the same shit and also doing bad stuff. I can't come out and say he did it for sure. But if he did put his hand too far in that cookie jar and did more than he should have, and there is evidence, obviously with the police investigating now and MLB investigating, this will be more of a sticky situation than the goddamn substance you used to cheat, Bauer. And if you are found guilty, imagine the bullshit that comes back on you. Imagine the money that you're going to lose because it went to your head and you're such a goddamn narcissist and you think your shit doesn't stink. Imagine though if this is true. I'm not saying it is, allegedly, but if it is true, your career is over, my friend. And the Doyers bought something that now they can't give back. And they're going to take a hit. But maybe, just maybe, they can get out of it, though, because of the personal issue or what is it called? The clause in the contract about not obviously if you murder someone, you get arrested, they can void your contract. So maybe he terminated his own contract, if it's true, allegedly. But I'm just saying, under no circumstances should a man take advantage of a woman like that. I think it's scum of the earth, whether he wears an Angel jersey, whether he wears a Dodger jersey, any jersey. Any man that goes overboard and does something to a female, you're a dog. You're scum of the earth, basically. And I feel, too, the fact that if a woman were to do something to a man as far as falsely accusing them and putting a man in jail for over 15, 20 years for something he didn't even do, she's scum of the earth. It goes both ways. It really does. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I really think that Bauer is a douchebag anyway, whether he's clear or not. I'm not going to root for him to be found guilty because I don't want to feel that happened and a poor girl suffered, whether she brought it on herself or not. I don't want that to be the case. But if it is, I hope he gets his comeuppance, no matter who he is. Not just Bauer, but no matter who he is. Should be, if he did the crime, he should do the time. And, so that's just my thoughts on that. I just think Bauer's a douchebag in general. Let's see. Rally Chris says, hey, Bauer, didn't your mom teach you to keep your hands to yourself? Well, allegedly. Michael says, if Bauer did what he's accused of, he's going to jail. What a jerk. Exactly. That's the whole thing I take out of this right now. Let me get back to some of these other ones real quick. I'm hoping to go to my first game on the 7th against the Red Sox, Badingo says. All right, that'd be cool, man. If Bauer is guilty, his career is over. Here's my current rotation for the Angels. Grillmaster says if we trade Heany and Bundy, your number 1 is Ohtani, and then number 2 is Suarez, Sandoval, Canning, and Cobb, and then Detmers maybe in a 6-man rotation. That could happen, but I wouldn't put Suarez as a 2, dude. I would probably actually put Detmers, or I'd put Sandoval at your 2 spot with that case, or even Cobb, and go with Ohtani. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on with in baseball news right now. It seems like a lot of things breaking. Getting back to what I said earlier about Heany and being inconsistent, the stuff he dealt with. Maybe he has depression, like you guys brought up, or maybe it's a factor of some prescription drugs. It doesn't always have to be opiates and stuff like that. He could be on prescription drugs that are allowed that could be giving him a chemical imbalance. We don't know. We've never heard of him being autistic, things like that. I don't want to say things that I don't know, but all I'm saying is the fact that there is something there to why he can't put the craft together. And he's got all the stuff to do it. And if he was emotional, I'd be like, okay, it's just X's and O's type thing. It's just a mental thing. But it seems like there's something more to it. And again, allegedly, I'm just speculating. I just hope that, if he can't do it here, just get his shit together as a baseball player somewhere else, because I just don't think he's happy here in Anaheim. The fans of Anaheim and myself, we don't appreciate the things he's. I mean, obviously we're fans and we're here to judge. That's all it is to it. I mean, as we root and we boo for the team, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we have a player here that's just not doing his thing. He's got to go. And I think we've seen enough of it right now. Jesus also says, I lost respect for Trevor Bauer since he signed with the Dodgers. Absolutely. That was number 1. I mean, and again, I watched some of his stuff on freaking YouTube, and I got to see like what a guy he was. And I was thinking, dude, why is this guy such a narcissist? Why is he acting like he's better than everybody? He was talking about, as I sign with the Dodgers, I'm going to make them better because I'm going to institute my ways because I can pitch every 4 days if I want to. I can do this. I can do that. I could better the team. He's already going in there this year talking for the team. Like when they got beat by the Padres, he's slamming the rest of his teammates. It's like, look, if a new guy comes into the clubhouse, I don't care if you're Albert Pujols his first year with the Angels, you don't have the right to talk. You haven't even played a full season with us. Why the hell are you acting like you own the team and that you can be our spokesman? I mean, if Kershaw says it, if anyone else in that rotation that's been there for a while, if anyone else like Bellinger or someone else like that speaks out, because Bellinger spoke out about Houston and their cheating, I want to listen, because those guys are leaders. Those guys have been a part of the team. They know the team. They're associated with the Dodgers. Bauer comes in there walking around like his chest pumped out. He's doing that whole knife thing. You could tell he's a dick. And he's out there speaking for, I mean, I would hope that some of the Dodger players like Turner and others got mad at him for doing that. I would hope. But, we'll never know. They won't say it. But if this stuff is true, the stuff that he did, just be glad he didn't sign here. That's the only thing you could take out of it, is the fact that we would have had, maybe we could have got out of the contract. It could have been voided because he broke the personal conduct clause in the contract. So maybe we could have got out of that, but it would have been even a bigger embarrassment. Think about it. Think about if he signed here with what happened today already. Skaggs being drugged through again about the drug problem, about the organization failing him, and people knowing about it. Now Artie's getting sued. Imagine if that broke today and we had Bauer on the team, and Bauer's our like best, maybe we didn't like him personally, but he's winning games for the Angels. He's our ace. And he goes into the same, like, talked about like in a negative way. We want the Angels to be talked about, but in a good way. But imagine the Skaggs stuff on the same day as Bauer goes down. I mean, dude, talk about one of the worst days ever for Angels baseball. And I mean, geez, as a fan, that'd be a hard hit. It's hard enough to talk about the fact that Skaggs is gone. And it's hard enough to talk about the fact that we lost a guy despite his drug problems. He was by far a nice guy. His family loved him. The players loved him. And the fact that he's gone way too young. Same thing with Aiden Hart. Aiden Hart unfortunately couldn't be prevented. That was just something that a douchebag was drinking too much and and killed him and his friends. But you lost Skaggs because it could have been prevented. That one really hurts. That was an organizational thing. The organization failed him. Yes, you still got to take the drugs. Yes, you still got to be voluntary to want that in your body and to have that abuse. But people knew, and I think that's why this is turning into a bigger thing even 2 years later. And the family deserves to get paid. You know, I don't like when sometimes you go through it, but look, the family waited 2 years. They've probably been talking with the organization anyway. But the fact that they did their investigations and now you know the organization knew this isn't going to go to court without any kind of, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm pretty sure the vast majority of this shit's true. And it's pretty sad that there could have been some people that stepped up and put a stop to it and maybe put him in rehab before things got worse. And maybe Skaggs would still be here today. And that's a tough pill to swallow. That's a no pun intended. Terrible words right there, but that's just the fact of the matter. He could still be here today if they would have just stepped up, and they didn't. So heads will roll and the money will be shelled out, in my opinion, big time. Let's see. Let me go back here. A lot of comments came in right now. Athletics are losing to the Rangers. Grillmaster says, Juan says, I don't like Bauer at all, but I think he'll be fine. Him and the Dodgers will destroy that woman. And, you know, that's a problem, Juan. If this turns into a popularity contest, that woman, if she is innocent and that did happen, then what's going to happen is the fans will jump all over her. And the internet is what it is. It's undefeated, and they will find anything to screw her over. You know, we've seen it in other sports before. I'm not going to name names, but we've seen it before. And that's the problem. James said, Todd speaking the truth. Grillmaster says, I would like it, or at Grill, oh no, he's going at Grillmaster, my bad. Rally Chris says, hey, the Astros are getting dumped on by the Orioles. That's good. Let's see. Tabora says, sadly, you're right. Going back to Juan's comment about the team's fans destroying him. The woman, unfortunately. Former Angel Hector Santiago suspended 10 games for using illegal substance. It's called the out clause. It happened to Marcel Osuna of the Braves this year after signing that big contract. Yeah, that's true, Ace. And that's a good pull right there, the out clause. Personal issues. You do something stupid like that. He put hands on his wife. He choked her, I believe, too. So yeah, he got what he deserved, and hopefully he gets what he deserves once he goes to court. We'll see what happens there. Let's see. Grillmaster says, fucking love it. Thank you, Baltimore. Let's see. Will Bauer's career be over if he's guilty? Some careers are saved after that. The thing is, Mateo, the America's is always second chance. And if you could pitch, if you could hit, if you could slam dunk, if you could drive a race car, you know, people will forgive you. And you put in time. I mean, look at what Michael Vick did. Michael Vick was found guilty as heck. And he went up. I mean, literally, he probably could have gotten off easier had he hit a woman. And it's sad to say, but when you do the things he did to animals, PETA came down on him hard. And PETA is dangerous. They are a worse organization than women's rights organizations sometimes. And he still had his second comeback. He had a second career, and he played good, and America, for the most part, forgave him. And as they should. I mean, he did a lot of charity work. I mean, maybe you have different opinions on that, but he did a lot of charity work, and he tried to show that he was truly sorry. He did his time. He did his penance afterwards, and he was a changed man. And right now he's on TV. So second chances are for everybody, but when it comes to something like this, I don't know if you can forgive. I really don't. But we'll have to see. Let's see. Grillmaster says his mama should have taught him to behave and not put hands on a woman. Bowers pleads guilty. That will be an embarrassment to the Dodgers. It will. Mateo says we're nasty. Yeah, he's bringing that up as well. I mean, it's almost to that time too where the anniversary of his passing is coming up here. Grillmaster says the internet is a dangerous place. Another pitcher we had hopes for was Julio Teheran. That's for sure. That was a complete meltdown right there. At least we didn't have Felipe Vasquez situation. That's true. 5-2 Rangers, Nick Solik with a 2-run homer, giving updates right there. Juan says, I've always wondered if the Angels players could have been involved in Skaggs' addiction. I hope not. The thing is, though, we will find out if they release the stuff to the public who those players were. In the indictment, it clearly says there was 5 other players that were involved in and handed out drugs by that personal trainer. So I don't know if they're currently still on the team. We'll have to see. Let's see. The Halos Realm says Santiago's wife blocked me because she posted a pic of him holding their kid, and I reminded him to wash his hands. Damn! See, that's why the internet's undefeated. That's why the internet's undefeated right there. A comment like that, although I think is sort of wrong, is funny as hell. So you kind of get both aspects of it. So if you put your stuff out there on the internet and you are a freaking sports star, a musician or whatever, you really can't take it to heart other than the block, because people do and will say things like that. And I gotta say, that's a hell of a comment. So I will read that again. Santiago's wife blocked me because she posted a pic of him holding their kid, and I reminded her to have him wash his hands so the baby doesn't get sticky. Holy shit, that's great. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, some people might disagree with that, but I think that is by far the best comment of the night. Grillmaster says, welcome into the news. I'm your anchor, Woodrow, but I don't have a paddle. Okay. Texas 2-run homer now lead. Oakland's up in the lead in that game, or Texas up in that lead. Hey, we aren't the team that had Felipe Vasquez. Yes, true. Julio Teheran had hopes, but he had failed. Yes, and yes. Unfortunately, a lot of guys have come in here and they have stunk it up. So again, tonight, as I wrap up the show, I've got a game for you guys that I wanted to announce after I talked to Fernando about it, that it's going to be a chance for you to win a freaking jersey of your choice. So please spread the goddamn word, because we're going to do a game where you're going to be able to participate daily to, if you listen to the show, to win a jersey in like 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how fast it goes. Basically, it's going to be like a bingo. And I'll explain later, but you're going to have a chance to win a jersey, and not just any jersey, but the jersey that fits you. So it's not just going to be a pick size. It's going to be a freaking nice jersey, 60th anniversary jersey. Keep that in mind. I will announce the rest of the stuff either tomorrow or Friday. And then plus we're gonna be doing the trucker hat giveaways. I'm gonna be putting in another order for the new designs of these hats. Right now we still got these 2, but we have a black one coming in, and we also have a solid red. So we're gonna be doing our trucker hat trivia, but we're also gonna be giving away some jerseys, and we got Archangel pins in the house too. He's gonna be giving away some pins too. I'm gonna be giving away some pins, courtesy of him. So we got giveaways galore. So if you know Angel fans that like pins, hats, jerseys, here's the place to win it. And also, please support the podcast. The podcast is just getting going. It's starting to gain ground, especially on YouTube. But check us out with some interviews that are going to be coming up soon. And then right now we did a crosstalk with Rocks in the Outfield. They're another podcast that's been working for about 4 or 5 years, talking Angels baseball on a hardcore level. So check that out too. That is up on YouTube. And we're just a lot of things are happening thanks to you, the fans, and thanks to Angels fans in general. You guys have just been awesome, and we really appreciate you guys supporting the lives and everything else. It's just been awesome. A couple more things. Nathan says hat giveaway today. No, bro, that is going to be tomorrow, Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays and Sundays we do trivia, and that's your chance to get a free hat courtesy of us. And if you haven't got your hat, we had those 2 go out. I worked a long day today, so I wasn't able to ship it. So our last 2 winners, you'll get them tomorrow. Not tomorrow. You're going to get them to Thursday for sure. Thursday you will have your hats, because I'm going to ship those out to the winners. I haven't been able. I've been working way too much on Monday and Tuesday. So again, I do these things as a team with everybody, and pitches in as a team here on Halos in the Infield. I almost said the other word. And we freaking do things together, and we all pitch in. And so we do the shipping. We do all that stuff. It's all free to you guys for just participating and being on here and spreading the word. I mean, if you guys could just spread the word, because we had to start over. This is going to be a huge thing, and you guys are riding along for the ride, where we have no problems doing giveaways for sure. Rally Chris knows that for sure. Let's see. Those jerseys are nice. Rally Chris has got his coming in here too. So that's the thing. The hats are going to be going out, like I said, tomorrow. So with that being said, look, let's get the W tomorrow. Let's put this one behind us. There was a lot of news that came out today, a lot of negatives, if you think about it. With the exception of, hey, let's hang our hat on the fact that Ohtani had 2 more home runs today, 27 and 28. That laser shot, the 28th one was awesome. The moon shot 27 was great. He's tearing it up over there. And something to think about before I get out of here too. You remember watching baseball in the old Yankee Stadium before they tore it down, which was a mistake. They should have retrofitted that thing. They should have kept it together. That's a house that freaking Babe Ruth built, and you tore it down for a stadium. That stadium, the fans were like on top of you, and it would rock, and it was an intimidating place to play. Now they're in this new stadium. It's all like freaking corporate out. It looks lame. I mean, the fans for the most part are quiet, dude. Everyone sits down and watch. Notice the next 2 games. There is no vibe in that place, and that's a shame. That's the New York freaking Yankees. They shouldn't have to have, any signs or any kind of like thing saying make some noise. That shouldn't be. Boston doesn't really have that because Boston has that feel. They never changed their stadium. That's old school. That's baseball. That's everything you want in baseball. And the old Yankee Stadium had that. So much nostalgia. They ruined it by getting rid of that stadium. I think that's an epic fail by the Yankees organization. They should have incorporated that stadium somehow. They still could have put their luxury boxes in there. They could have just retrofitted the damn place. You got the money to do that. It's billions upon billions of dollars. They could have had those guys working the entire offseason, and they could have just remodeled the stadium. You saw what they did to Angel Stadium back in the day. It literally took them a year and a half, and that's with slow workers not working 24/7. They got that stadium converted to the way it is today. So, come on. The Yankees could do it. Angels, let's go for the win tomorrow. And I'll get back to you guys. Big Hammer 20 checked in too, so he's leading the league in home runs. Yes, he is leading the league, 27 and 28. So before I get out of here real quick, Jesus just says, or James Gonzalez says, old Yankee Stadium was way better. Jesus says, Yankee Stadium is new school. It sucks. Angel Stadium is louder. And it wouldn't freaking surprise me one bit, Jesus, if it is. And by the way, fun trivia for you guys real quick before I get out of here. The second oldest stadium in the American League is Angel Stadium. Angel Stadium is the second oldest stadium thanks to the Yankee Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and all those other stadiums going by the wayside. Boston is the only stadium older than Anaheim Stadium. Let that sink in. That's pretty crazy, right? Anaheim Stadium is freaking the second oldest stadium in the American League. Pretty crazy. Never thought I would say that. Okay, so with that being said, you guys and girls have a good rest of your freaking evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. James is saying there may be a rain delay. Look out for his pregame show. It's on Instagram TV. It will be on Facebook and Twitter. So with that being said, thank you so much to Rally Chris and Chase and everyone behind the scenes.